I guess I'm live. How you guys doing? So yeah, the cupcake sale was a big success. Marilee said one person spent $50, another person spent $35, another person spent $30. I'm glad to have helped. Thanks you guys for coming by and giving her some business. I appreciate it. She does too. Yeah, so that was cool. Now I'm on my walk now, but I'm glad I could help. That's cool. I want to say also, I'm only 50. I only need 52,000 more views to have 6 million views on my channel. You realize that's less than. I need less than 1% of what I have. In other words, I have more than 99% of 6 million views. I need less than 1% of that to get the 6 million views. So that's cool. I'm happy about that. Thanks for helping. Thanks for watching my videos. And I just want to do this rant. I want the subject of it to be, I just want to rant a little bit. I want to talk about Nicolo Machiavelli. He lived in the 1500s, I think. So about a Renaissance time. I want to talk about his theories and about him. He wasn't a bad person, nor was he necessarily wrong. All he did was propose or posit a theory of human behavior. That's all he did. He wasn't evil, and he might not even been wrong about his theory. People call it Machiavellian when you're evil or whatever, but first of all, he wasn't evil. Second of all he did was predict. All he did was talk about how human nature was or is, and third of all, he wasn't even necessarily wrong. So just because a social scientist or a person that studies something comes up with an answer you don't like or makes you uncomfortable does not make said person evil or coin a word, a verb, coin a phrase after him that is representative of evil. So Nicolo Machiavelli basically said, not necessarily incorrectly, that people do what's best for them. People just do what is in their best interest. Now, there's exceptions to this. There's spiritual love, and there's people that actually love beyond that. I know because I have, and I know that I have sensed that at times myself, and I think that I think Jesus, assuming. Yeah, I love you. Assuming all that's intact, Jesus expressed love too. But first of all, that's not that common, and it's a good premise in general just to say that for most human behavior, or a lot of it, at least a good fraction of it, is just based on self-interest. What you'll do, what is best for you, and people like each other or have each other around or become each other's friends because that they help each other with what's best for them. So it goes both ways. If I'm saying that Machiavelli was right, that includes me. Because I like to do what's in my best interest too. I'm not off the hook either because I'm a human too. But so is everyone else. and I think he had a good idea, because if you can understand this about basic human nature, like I said, doesn't mean love doesn't exist, but basic human nature, if you understand this, then you don't expect things that you shouldn't, and you don't get overly hurt over things that you shouldn't. If Machiavelli was right, there's no need to expect overwhelming selflessness from people. And then on the other hand, there's no reason to get that upset or surprised. Surprise is bad too. Upset is one thing, but also surprise that when people do act according to self-interest. It's not like a big shock, and it shouldn't really upset you. It shouldn't really be like, oh my God, where's that coming from? I didn't expect that. And oh my God, I'm hurt, and all that. His theories really can help you if you understand that at the core, people do what's best for them. then it helps you get less hurt and less disappointed when people act that way, because you expect it ahead of time and you're already aware of it and alerted to it. I think it's a good thing. That does not mean that spiritual love doesn't exist. But it's also true that not everybody has spiritual love, first of all, and except for that, Machiavelli was basically right, I think. It's in other words, at least for me, I apply it to myself too. I don't want to get overly upset or already that when because it's just human nature. It's just part of how we are made. It's part of the reptilian brain, as David Icke puts it. It's a part of what wanting to survive so that the species survives. And it's just if evolution had anything to do with how we got here, then it's how we evolved to survive. We need to want to live, otherwise the human race is going to die out. And part of wanting to live is doing what's best for your survival. It's just part of human nature. And I think he had some good ideas. I'm not saying he knows everything. I'm not saying his theory explains everything. But it's a good thing to keep in mind. Like when my dad was hitting me, it wasn't Machiavelli, because I didn't know who Machiavelli was. But like I've said, when I took my walk when I was 13, I figured out right then and there not to take my dad's hitting me personally, because I didn't love him and he didn't love me. I took it just as physical, and that helped me survive it. I didn't get hurt or surprised when he hit me. In fact, I expected it. In fact, to be honest, I hate that phrase because it means I wasn't going to be honest, but I only got over thinking he might come and hit me again sometime around the end of last year. When I was 58 years old or so, it finally dawned on me, oh yeah, my dad's not going to hit me again. And that's 41 years after I left home. That's how long it took for my brain for it to dawn on me that my dad's not going to hit me ever again. But, referring to Machiavelli, hitting him was good for him. Hitting me was good for him. For some reason, he got hurt. He got hurt in a training accident or something. Pulled his back out, and he had constant pain the rest of his life. They couldn't operate on him because it would have paralyzed him, and yet he had to live with it. So it caused him constant pain. And my feeling is that it made him mad, and it got him relief to hit me because he was in pain. And that's not all his fault. It's not my fault either, but it's not all his fault either. And if that released endorphins for him to hit me, then he was doing what was. Then I can't say it's all his fault either. And also, I can't get that surprise or shock that he hit me. And I can't. And that's just an example. I can't. It's a good thing to keep in mind about human nature. That Machiavelli was not this evil person. He was just. I got to this call. Sorry. Phone call. So I helped a friend out with getting a keyboard for her. Bertrand's Music, I found a good keyboard for her. So I'm giving a shout out to Bertrand's Music, even though you're not allowed to record in there, which affects me, but they're still a great music store. They're on Old Town Front Street, Temecula. So yeah, like I was saying, Machiavelli had a good social, model of behavior that was really actually very functional and very practical and often true. And anyway, so love you guys, peace, love, and rock and roll.